If you're pregnant and married to anyone remotely famous in Mumbai, chances are Karan Johar is already casting an unborn child in his next film. He's probably even picked out which beloved classic he'll remake and definitely ruin. And considering the state of Bollywood today, that's completely believable. After all, the bar is now so low, who even needs acting lessons, diction, or charisma anymore?
Betty, I had no idea. I'm so sorry that you're so upset.
He's going to lose his job because of your father. He actually cares about them. बात करने के लिए तुम्हें भी उनके सेक्रेटरी के थ्रू जाना पड़ता है.
Today's Bollywood doesn't run on talent. It runs on PR packages, pre-written praise, and a network of journalists ready to call a flop daring and a bland performance bold. Box office disasters are met with Instagram gratitude posts, red carpet appearances. Reflection has been replaced by denial. And somewhere along the way, the Bollywood I and millions of others once loved quietly died. What used to be an industry built on ambition, character, risk, now feels like a private club built for self-preservation and family loyalty. So how did we get here? Let's rewind to where the cracks first started showing. Now, before someone jumps in with, "But nepotism has always existed," you're right, it has. But the difference today is how the industry responds to it. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, Bollywood had competition. Actors had to earn audience trust, charisma, dedication, and screen presence weren't optional. They were the baseline. And without social media hype to manipulate perception, an actor's success lived and died by one thing: the audience. If your film flopped, you felt it. If you couldn't connect, the industry noticed. And if you failed repeatedly, doors started closing. Just look at Uday Chopra. He didn't just get a foot in the door. His family produced his first acting credit, Mohabbatin, placing him alongside two of Bollywood's biggest legends. An opportunity like that doesn't come from talent. It comes from legacy. His last name opened that door. But after that, the few movies he starred in flopped, and audiences clearly didn't connect. The box office numbers made that clear. And to his credit, he listened. He admitted acting wasn't his passion. He took criticism seriously. He questioned his place on screen. And eventually, he stepped away and found fulfillment behind the scenes. Because back then, box office failure still had consequences. Today, it earns you another lead role.
Being a star son or star daughter, how much it helps.
But do you think it helps?
I think it helps. I think it helps getting your first film. Then eventually, I think your work speaks for yourself.
You think
But I think it helps in getting your first break.
It took me 5 years to get my first film.
No self-reflection, no improvement, just another glossy photo shoot and a trending hashtag. Producers don't even pretend to care about audience feedback anymore. They hand out second, third, and fourth chances like Dilwale sweets, so long as your surname still sells.
When I've never wanted to be an actor. I was slowly nudged into this profession.
Right.
I never had a burning ambition to be an actor.
Right.
What's even worse, these actors aren't even trying to get better. They're not chasing growth. They're chasing engagement. Unlike Uday, who had enough self-awareness to bow out, today's nepotism crew thinks trending equals talent. As long as they're on magazine covers or dropping curated interviews, the acting can wait. And look at what that's done to Bollywood. We went from Hrithik Roshan to Tiger Shroff, from Priti Zinta to Kushi Kapoor, from Shahid Kapoor to Arjun Kapoor. I could go on, but honestly, it would just make me more annoyed. And when people criticize this decline, there's always that one tired excuse. They're still learning. They need more time. More time? These aren't school plays. These are multi-million rupee productions. Since when did Bollywood become an internship program? You wonder why we're in the state we're in. This isn't just about privilege anymore. It's about normalizing mediocrity to the point where even the audience stop expecting better. And that, more than any box office flop, is what's dragging Bollywood down. Nepotism doesn't just lower acting standards. It creates a ripple effect that hits every corner of Bollywood. And when the people calling the shots stop caring about talent or originality, the whole machine starts to rot, starting with the two most essential parts of Hindi cinema: music and storytelling. In Bollywood, music isn't merely a soundtrack. It is the storytelling. Unlike Hollywood, where music typically enhances a scene, Bollywood weaves songs directly into the emotional arc of the film. Songs reveal inner conflicts, express love, heartbreak, and transformation. They carry the emotional weight. This is what always set Bollywood apart. Songs weren't extras, they were the story. And this unique storytelling style is no accident. It's rooted deeply in tradition. As highlighted by the South Asianist, a respected academic journal focused on South Asian culture, Bollywood's musical storytelling originates from India's folk theater traditions, like Nantanki, where songs played a central role in narrating the story. That legacy is why even weaker films can remain memorable simply because of their iconic soundtracks. For decades, that emotional magic came from vocal variety. Playback singers brought distinct textures to the screen. Some voices felt like velvet, others like heartbreak wrapped in thunder. Even if you didn't understand the language, you could feel precisely what was happening. The voices matched the characters perfectly. When actors lip-synced, it genuinely felt as if they were singing. The illusion held, the emotions landed, and audiences connected. Back then, Bollywood had numerous iconic voices, each adding their own emotional color. The singing felt alive, authentic, believable. You didn't need subtitles to understand. You just needed to listen. That's why those soundtracks became timeless. Even when the films didn't succeed, their music kept them alive. Today, that range is gone. Bollywood now relies almost entirely on one voice: Arijit Singh. To be fair, he's one of the last playback singers who genuinely brings emotion to his tracks. His voice still carries warmth and sincerity, which is probably why Bollywood uses him for almost every song. But that's exactly the problem. When you hear the same voice across every character, every film, every emotional beat, it starts to blur. You stop hearing the character altogether. You just hear Arijit Singh again and again and again. Even great songwriting becomes flattened by the lack of contrast. Emotional textures vanish. What was once immersive now feels detached. Eventually, your ears tire and your brain checks out. But music isn't the only casualty. The scripts, too, have fallen victim to this downward spiral. Originality has vanished. Bollywood isn't writing stories anymore. It's repackaging. Today, the industry survives on an endless cycle of sequels, remakes of South Indian and foreign films. Producers bank on these stale tactics to fill theaters, entirely disregarding originality. But nostalgia without heart feels empty, and audiences sense it immediately. Need proof? Look no further than 2025's Nadaniyan, a film with nothing to say. Predictable plot, hollow characters, even veteran actors couldn't rescue it. Chemistry? Non-existent. Story? Dead on arrival.
I am impressed by the first Hindi film made using AI. The actors appear nearly lifelike. AI storytelling and video production have advanced significantly. I love how Kushi's acting didn't improve that much at all. We love consistency. The way she delivered the dialogue "Tum mere Safler Kar Rahe Ho" made us sounded like some Dora the Explorer Hindi dubbed. Formula to launch Star Kids. Take the new Star Kids. Add 2 to 3 old actors with strong fan bases. Make the film Gen Z. Put some influencers in it. That's it. Your film is ready.
Producers even resorted to blatant nostalgia baiting by recreating the iconic Pyar Dosti Hai scene from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai in promotional videos. But instead of pulling out heartstrings, all it did was remind everyone how painfully far Bollywood has fallen, from iconic storytelling to empty imitation. And even when you do have decent actors or great music, weak writing kills everything. Look at Kalank, visually gorgeous, beautifully composed music. But it failed. Why? Because the story felt emotionally disconnected. The script couldn't make you care. It looked like a film, but it didn't feel like one. There was a time when Bollywood gave us stories that stayed with us, dialogues we quoted, endings we felt deep in our chests. Now, the dialogue feels as if it was written by AI and delivered as if the actors received a Google translated script moments before filming. Seriously, there's probably a Bollywood fan in East Africa right now who speaks better Hindi than half of today's nepotism actors. And they're not even from India. And that's not even about casting. It's about standards. Excellence demands risk, and Bollywood has stopped taking risks altogether. Scripts aren't written to say something meaningful anymore. They're written just to avoid failure. Mediocrity has become the new norm, rewarded so consistently that improvement isn't even a consideration. And honestly, why would it be? When actors can deliver flop after flop, get consistently criticized for poor performances, and still keep getting lead roles simply because of their last name? What kind of message does that send? It's gotten so bad that audiences now find themselves practically begging actors just to pronounce their lines clearly and show even a hint of genuine emotion, instead of sounding like they're awkwardly reading cue cards. And when the bar has dropped this low, anyone investing their money and time into these films quickly realizes being good at acting was never even part of the criteria. Audiences are already responding by refusing to show up, leading to empty theaters, more flops, and producers now choosing to quietly release films directly onto Netflix instead. Yet even then, Bollywood producers don't seem to care. At this point, Bollywood feels less like a film industry and more like a family business, like a money laundering scheme built solely to benefit insiders, rather than entertain viewers. And when an industry loses sight of its viewers, the consequences are clear. The stories no longer touch our hearts, and the music no longer echoes in our minds. Bollywood isn't just struggling to evolve, it's slowly losing its soul, quietly erasing everything beautiful it once stood for. Bollywood isn't just facing a creative crisis. It's trapped in a cycle of mediocrity that threatens to wipe out everything that once made it unforgettable. But this problem runs deeper than music or scripts. At its core is something even more crucial: the loss of charisma, chemistry, and genuine star power. And that's exactly what we'll explore next in part 2. We'll uncover why Bollywood is failing actors like Ranveer Singh, why true talent keeps getting sidelined, and how broken promotion strategies have pushed international audiences away. But before we get there, I want to hear from you. Do you see Bollywood turning this around? Or is the damage already done? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. Share it to keep the conversation going. And subscribe to make sure you don't miss part 2. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.